we're about to try to get this thing set up so we can do a couple photos, a little light photo shoot. I actually hate photos personally because they'll never show you how great the dog is, how great the pups even look. There have been some people who don't understand my process. It's kind of like an artist. That's how I look at it. Some people are like, hey, I still got to see the dog. I said, there's nothing for me to show you, man. They look like rodents. So, in this episode, you're going to watch us weigh the pups, why we weigh the dogs, where the dogs are at. I've got a couple documents in which we write everything down and we kind of paint a picture of, you know, what our expectations are. Question for you guys to think about is, what form of energy does a dog use in its first couple weeks? Now we know that normally a dog uses protein and fat for energy. And objectively, fat, since the dog doesn't have carbohydrate needs or glycogen needs per se. Well, in this case, so what does a puppy need to sustain its overall well-being? Stay tuned, people. You're gonna see the photo shoot live, and I'm just using my phone today. Ain't nobody going all in. It does not need to be perfect. They are babies. And they're pretty babies now. These things suck, by the way. I bought, stepped on the plug. I done bought 3 or 4 of them. And this ground right here, Lord have mercy. Let me tell you something. Somebody told me once, hey, you got to get this kind of crate for the dogs. Stand on some plastic stuff like this here, and your feet will swell. This is uncomfortable. And what happens with the dog's paws is they'll begin to swell up as well. So what you don't want to do actually is get this kind of crate. It's that crate with the blue squares in it that people put a bunch of puppies in. The feet begin to swell up. You can get easy-westy problems early on. But we'll come back and talk about that soon. Stay tuned. Take care of your dogs, people. This is like that scene in Bruce Almighty. I'm going to put a puppy in here. He's going to come around. He's going to have to drop the ISO just a tad bit, which means he's going to boost the shutter speed so you can dial in and see the dog and it not be blown out because they lie like a 10. Well, I see where you're going past the preach. Let's take this verse program. Let's see if you can get it right. Now, you just heard what happens. This has been blown out. Not yet. I'm going to give you a countdown. I'll give you a countdown now. You're going to go in here and watch the first part of this clip because he don't know how bright it need to be. I know what the numbers need to be. Believe me, I can like grab the camera, boom, and you see it from start. Go ahead, see if you can get it right. Boom, I told you can't even see the dog. I told you, look. I gave him the formula, though. There you go. That's one of them jokers. Oh, he's gorgeous. That's a pretty boy. My name is Carrie. Oh, I know, buddy. I'm going to bring you back. No fussing. All right. Let's put him in his tree brothers. His other 2 brothers in there, eh? Oh, my bad, buddy. There you go. There we go, people. Hey, man, turn around. Watch out, boss. One of these jokers. I don't even know why people show puppies this so. Goodness gracious, I like him. That's a boy too. I like him. Well, there's a little light box so you can see the dogs. And we're gonna do a little light photo stuff, a little light video stuff. Realistically, people, some people asked, all the pups are gone. There's one boy left and it's out of here. I'm pretty sure he'll be gone soon and definitely before the 8-week mark. I'm not even worried about that. Every dog, again, a deposit of $1,000 has been sent my way, which means all the dogs opposed to one boy who's up in limbo right now, they're gone. They're gone. So the people that are hitting me up, man, how do I get a dog? 2024. We'll talk. 2024. A brand extends its value based on the work. I don't want to be a guy who breeds a bunch of dogs. That's not our intent. It's not my intent. We have no value if we don't take care of the dogs. We cannot do that. Continue to produce the dogs and produce and produce. I want to see the dogs grow up. I want to see them become great dogs. I want to be able to vouch for them. So stay tuned as we have a good time. I know whichever dog I believe has the best capabilities performance-wise out of these three, I'll tell you this. They warm too. I'll tell you this. They oh, I think he got me. I think he got me. He got me. I tell you, there's one thing they're gonna do is they're gonna look over here so they can see. He got me. That's that. My hand was not wet when I picked him up. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Here you go. You went too high. You went too high. I'm not Jesus. He got me, people. There's one dog that I already know his name, so we'll start calling him his name once I figure out who he is. What I mean is, again, I choose where the dogs go. You guys are used to choosing dogs based on how they look. I send dogs. I want to send dogs to places where people, need them. Like, what do you need? Tell me a little bit about your lifestyle, so that we can make sure that the right dog gets put in your hand. Otherwise, you're gonna run into a problem long term, and then my dog could end up in a shelter. Now, at the price point, I'd assure you, and it's not expensive. Our dogs, for the American Bully, they're relatively cheap. But for the price point, you just want to make sure the dogs are getting the best chance possible to live and live well. So stay tuned, take care of your dogs. If you are breeding, you might want to get you a little light box, and then we're going to build a set for them eventually as well. So stay tuned, because that stuff's going to be fun. But we're going to actually lay out some schematics and things that I want to create this time around. So, as you saw, we've got our light box, we've got our puppies, we've got our brand, and we have the businessman. That's what I understood early on. We worked through our kinks. We got rid of our problems objectively. And we have problems that we have to work through moving forward. But when you look at a dog, because people are saying, hey, let's grab this one here. No fussing. Let's say you look at a dog, and then you turn around and you have 3 or 4 more dogs. Look, let me be very clear, people. A great business solves a problem or lowers the cost. So one of the things that you want to do is make sure your business solves a problem. And one of the problems that we want to solve is that safety's become a thing. I like the on and off switch that American Bully can have. Eventually we'll get away from the American Bully, so we get rid of all the confusion that you guys are going to be plagued with in the future, because this thing only gets more and more confusing. I would encourage you also to stretch your dog's paws and just the pup. Just stretch them. Literally, you can stretch them every day, especially when you put your hands on them. Doctors, as she said in the video, she said, when you're kind of playing with them, harass them a little bit, what you should be doing. I bother these dogs all the time. I'm in that whelping pen, smelling like poop and pee. And even last time, you see, there's a hoodie in there that they probably ruined. There's a hoodie in there that they probably ruined, just because I was like, I'm just leave this hoodie in here. How long should you stretch? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Imagine 5 seconds every day for the first 2 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A few times a day, because you should be bothering your dogs 2 or 3 times a day. And I don't put them on the nipple. As you see, look at Zara watching. She's watching me like a hawk. She's like, what you doing with that boy? It's funny, because when I take the girl that I'm keeping, I put her over there on my chest. Oh my, Zara, she doesn't trip. I told the guys it was imperative that we built a brand. The brand needed to be made clear. Clarity is probably one of the most expensive things when building a brand or a business, because that goes to marketing. Marketing, as you know, is a black hole, because you would never spend enough money to be seen unless you do something that most people can't do, and that's assert a level of value that 9 out of 10 people don't know how to communicate either. So for one, I gotta keep thanking you guys for supporting what we're doing, for watching, for viewing, for communicating with other people. I thought if we built the community effectively, it would take care of itself. Jamarcus and others tell me about the comments and things, and they just talk about how much you guys are just right here with us. So I have to say thank you every now and then, just to remind you guys that it's not necessarily, I ain't gonna lie and say it's about you guys. That would be a lie. But but because you believe, and it's evident that this is, you know, heartfelt, it's authentic, you guys are connected to it in a sense. There's a real affinity I've always had for dogs. Ruben probably is the best because he's the kind that loves dogs so much. If he sees something or a dog does something, it'll give him goosebumps because he loves animals so much. And I want to get there. I want to get to a place where you see something, even something you create, and be like, wow. We'll talk more about marketing, branding, and communications in another video. But to now, part of it, light box, whooping box. And you have yet to see what's to come. Stay tuned, people. Take care of your dogs. And as always, thank you for watching.